Today I'm gonna be making a video about cheese. And you know, you might be thinking, what do you mean you're gonna make a video about cheese, Catman? You've gone off the rails again. You've lost your mind. What is there even to say about cheese? What isn't there to say about cheese? Don't test me. I will make a half-hour video about cheese, I swear. All you man don't even understand the mystical and esoteric values of cheese. You've never heard about its use for dream manipulation. You've never heard about cheese rush. We're gonna be getting into these things during this video, don't you worry. Now look, if you're expecting me to pull out some next obscure, exotic cheese to talk about, you're gonna be sorely disappointed. I'm a pretty simple man myself when it comes to the cheese. I like my cheddar, I like my mozzarella, red Leicester, there's a need for that sometimes too. Outside of that, just have camembert sometimes on special occasions. Alright, innit? I'm not really here to be superficial about the cheese though. Whatever cheese you like, I'm so fucking happy for you, mate. I'm so fucking glad that you like that cheese. Whatever cheese you like, roll with that. We accept love of all cheeses here at the Catman Show. We're more gonna be talking about specific properties of individual cheeses. They have many different effects on dream manipulation. Any aspiring mystic knows this. Beyond that, any vaguely spiritual person knows this as well. It's just obvious really to anyone with intuition. Cheddar cheese is known to give you dreams involving celebrities. But really I think this is because the people involved in these studies are normies really. And if a schizo warrior were to eat cheddar cheese before bed, he could perhaps establish connection with figures such as Jesus or Sophia upon the astral plane. Any sort of venerated figure, you know. Because you know, normies, they be venerating shallow celebrities. That's why they be meeting them in their dreams. If this cheese is mastered, it will surely do wonders in the field of attaining gnosis. That's why cheddar is my goat. Red Leicester is known to bring you back to your childhood in dreams. I guess if you need to relax, this is probably the cheese for you. But rarely do I have a need for these childhood dreams. Or perhaps I am kicking myself by assuming that. That's possible. Remain open to all these cheeses. That's my advice to you. I might not follow that advice, but I probably should. I'm sure they have much knowledge to offer, all in their own ways. Cheshire cheese is an interesting one. It has a very specific use, and that's that it works to block out dreams so that your sleep is undisturbed. No chance of seeing crazy shit that has the chance to wake you up in the middle of the night. And you know, for schizo individuals who are trying to master their dreams, this is probably something that is gonna make them scoff. But there are times where this cheese is necessary. Say you are an individual who is addicted to drugs, or just anything really. You're trying to kick an addiction. Let's say smoking, for example. Maybe you're like a week into quitting smoking and it's been going well. You're standing strong. But then one night, you have this dream where you're smoking a pack and you're just loving it. You're gonna wake up shaken. You're gonna feel so deprived. You're gonna be fighting against that part of you that wants to nip down the shop and buy a pack. I've had dreams like this while kicking addictions. Nicotine, weed, porn. And these dreams, they are big hurdles really. This is where you can use Cheshire cheese suitably and effectively. Reduce the chance of these dreams coming to you dramatically. It's a cheese that can be used to escape mental slavery. But once you're free, there's no reason to take it before bed really. Maybe you could use it to avoid nightmares. But I think if you're having nightmares, it just means there's something in your life that you need to fix. You shouldn't cheese those away in my opinion. But yeah, once you have escaped mental slavery, no reason to keep having this cheese before bed really. Otherwise it will prevent you of being free in your dreams. You gotta be woke on your cheeses, man. You gotta be using them for the correct purposes. If it's schizo dreams you want, you gotta have Stilton. Stilton will show you the most vivid, mad, outside the box brain change shit. I don't think I have to explain the worth of this really, but I guess I will a little bit. Mad inspiration can be gained from these kinds of dreams, especially if you keep a dream journal. The vividness of these dreams will make you remember them loads, and due to that, you'll be able to write bare in that dream journal. And as schizo dream warriors will already know, Writing in your dream journal helps you remember dreams much more vividly, and this is a prerequisite for lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming being one of the most liberating and inspiring experiences one can have, where you take full control of the dream and can basically act as God in the sandbox of your mind. It's something that helps you master your mind. One cheese I tend to stay away from is Lancashire cheese, because it brings dreams about the future, which isn't so bad depending on what that entails. But this cheese also inspires dreams about work, which just sounds like stress to me. I mean, who knows, maybe it will inspire dreams about grinding and it will affect your grind positively. But if I recall back, all of the dreams I've ever had about work have been stressful. So that's why I avoid that shit. Cheese embodies the laws of creation and destruction. It has stored within it powerful energies. Obviously it influences in us creation through this dream manipulation shit. But you may be wondering where the destruction aspect comes in. There's a very simple answer to that question. Cheese rush. We all know about cheese rush, right? Cheese has that sort of alluring quality that makes you keep coming back for more. I know you might have been up at like 3 AM just eating bits of cheese out the fridge. I know you've eaten like way too much cheese all at once and just been consumed by the hysterical and confusing experience that is cheese rush. It's very simple really. The more cheese you eat at once, the more schizo you will get. This has happened to me many times. I know many people who have experienced cheese rush. Fellow scholars, I have studied cheese rush. You eat enough cheese at once and you start breaking things. You turn into a fucking animal. If you think what I'm saying is crazy, you're just ignorant. Try it out for yourself if you don't believe me. Don't blame me when you're running on all fours barking at random gal on the streets. Cheese can be altered to be more potent in the cheese rush department. If you melt it, for example, especially if you microwave it, basically the more greasy and dirty the cheese is, the more it contains that destructive energy that causes cheese rush. The most potent probably being that cheese they throw on your chips at the chippy. I don't recommend you eat that shit because it will probably kill you eventually. I'm just speaking on a matter of fact. I know you have that thing in you that makes you feel the need to eat some dirty, greasy food with melted cheese all over it and just bask in the squalor of it. That's cheese rush. That's the destructive side of cheese. There's a spiritual war being waged against cheese by demonic forces currently. And not just currently, it's been going on for a long time actually. The powers that be introduced into the flow of cheese, synthetic, fake, processed cheese. This stuff is devoid of all spiritual qualities common to cheese. Don't support these products. They need to be wiped out. It is a small death for humanity to allow these fake cheeses to flourish. Cheese slices should only be used to throw at cats and small children. Do not consume that shit. The cheese string mascot guy, he's on my list. All I have to say about him. I gotta talk about vegan cheese briefly while I'm on about this too. You know, I appreciate the sentiment. I support the vegan mandem. But that vegan cheese is a disease being pushed under the guise of a good cause. Listen, I ordered a vegan pizza once. I wanted to see what the deal was. And look, I picked up a slice of pizza and the cheese ran off the pizza like it was water. What I was seeing in front of me was so disturbing and troubling and wrong. I immediately knew that this pizza would be horrible. But I gave it a go anyway. I think I managed to get through one slice of that pizza, but I had to retch multiple times. It was really bad. Perhaps the worst thing I've ever tried to eat. 1 out of 10 for that there pizza. I got it from Pizza Hut too, who do pretty good pizzas in my opinion. That shit was evil. Pure evil. I think vegan cheese is actually a psyop created to dissuade people from turning vegan and continue supporting the dairy industry. Vegans should protest vegan cheese. It's doing them no favors. But yeah, I reckon that's about it for this video. Subscribe to the Catman Show. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Goodbye.